Again, Medina, Cleveland, please stay inside, get to a basement right now. This is an observed tornado. We'll continue to gather information. Not in Bismarck, out of the west, primarily out towards the west. So something's cooking here across the state, giving us that temperature difference. And by golly, you can see it right here in the overall wind field, pretty much 5 to 10 for most areas. But again, out of the east, southeast here, more out of the west, there is a convergence line of those winds running right. It's a very slow moving system, rainfall rates of 1 inch to 1.5 inches of rain per hour. So definitely be aware of that. Some small hail possible. Welcome back to KX News at 6. Happy Friday to everyone out there, although it feels more like winter's coming on here again this evening. March is just around the corner. But again, as of now, we have those 16s and minus, and because of this area of low pressure, this front that moved on through earlier, and the overall placement here of this high off towards our northwest, giving us some forcing right about there as far as that light snow is concerned. We'll see more of that trend building here into tonight, but you can really see the power of that cold front. 20 in Bismarck, 63 in Billings, also seeing some 60s back towards Omaha. Harvesting season. And I'm so happy to be actually sitting in one of the combines here. We're going to go ahead and harvest some wheat, as a matter of fact, over the course of the next 10 to 15. We call this a backdoor cold front coming in from the northeast, heading towards that southwestern corner. This is the reason behind the massive discrepancy in our temperatures right now. Like 18 degrees in Dunseith, low 60s towards that southwestern corner. Lots of reports of stalled vehicles out across portions of western Bismarck into Mandan as well. Please use that common sense. If you see standing water, if you see cars in the standing water ahead of you, don't go through it. Don't try to go through it. Go around it or wait. It's always best to be cautious. Bow echo-like feature is right here. The more this central area continues to extend outwards from the back core of this, the stronger the winds will get in this area right here. And again, we have seen reports of 90 to 101 miles an hour within that line. Tomorrow's daytime highs, again, teens to the north, back towards the east. What else is new this week, right? And 20s for the central. Yeah, that was just this past summer. It was what, like the first EF5 since what year? Do you remember what year the last one was?
2013 and more.
And more, Oklahoma. See, he knows his facts. He studies tornadoes. He loves the weather. And again, some 1 to 1.5 inch hail still possible, 60 to 65 mile per hour wind gusts, and this is valid until 7 p.m. Central Time this evening. And of course, that cell is also tracking off towards the southeast. My true pleasure to be able to experience this with the family and to have been out here in Regent over the course of the spring and summer. And we wish the Kirchmans the absolute best. I am here in Bowman, North Dakota at the North Dakota Cloud Modification Project. I'm sitting in the plane, as you can see, and I'm here to figure out exactly what goes on here with this project. Welcome back to KX News at 6, and we're looking live here in Bowman. Our camera is pointed towards the southwest, and see some lightning there in the distance just flashed through. Perfect timing. How about that? And looks like a pretty decent storm towards the southwest. We can see why here if we go towards the radar. It's this particular cell right here that camera is picking up on. The good news is that cell is going to continue to move towards the east-southwest, going to be more into South Dakota, so it really shouldn't impact the Bowman area. There have been reports of 1 to 2 or 2.5 inch hail within that cell. So good news for you. Back closer to home, we have 2 severe warning storms towards our west central locations and some more discrete cells kind of popping up here into the far west. Let's go ahead and zoom in on those first couple of cells. We have 2 right here in this particular area heading towards the Killdeer area. There are reports of $half sized hail within those 2 cells right now. So if you're in Killdeer, really anywhere along 200 right here, maybe seek shelter and just be aware that maybe perhaps that hail core is heading your way over the next 10 to 15 minutes. This particular cell right here has shown some indications of some rotational components. Doesn't appear to be as strong as it was. That's great news, so it may not become anything more than it is right now. And this one out towards the west, kind of looking more, a little bit of a bow echo kind of feature, trying to form in there, so we'll watch that very closely as well. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom out and kind of explain how things will evolve here as we move into the rest of the night. So this is paused, but right now we have individual cells really across the western third of the states. As long as those cells stay individual, the large hail and the tornado threats will persist. And we expect as we move further into tonight, each of these cells will continue to grow what's called upscale as they move from the west towards the east, meaning they should form more of a line-like feature. And as that happens, the hail threat should diminish some and the wind threats will take over. We may see wind gusts in some areas of 60 to 80 or 85 miles per hour, and we'll see through precision cast here in a second what we expect when that line forms. I will say too, the tornadic threat will still be there through the duration of this event. We're not quite seeing it here, but areas towards Minot, towards Williston, you aren't out of the woods yet, but the severe threat may be diminishing just a little bit for your areas, particularly towards Williston. But again, stay tuned to us as we progress through the rest of the evening, just in case things push a bit further north than we currently expect right now. So between 7 and 8 o'clock, still seeing more of those discrete cells out towards the west, individual cells that will maintain the hail and tornadic risk over the next few hours. But watch, as we get to 9, 10 o'clock, some of these cells begin to merge together to become more of a linear-like structure. And as that happens, we can see this one right here almost bowing out in the central tier of it right there, and that is again indicative of a bow echo-like feature, which could give us some of those damaging straight line winds. Another one may pop up here from Bismarck, points further north. And again, it still remains to be seen if these storms take on this formation and exactly where they could occur. It could be a bit further west than we're showing right here, maybe a bit further north, but really any area from perhaps Max or Garrison further south. If you're anywhere in this Highway 83 corridor right here, just be aware of this potential for you as far as the winds are concerned as we get to 9, 10, 11 o'clock here later on tonight. We're hoping right now most of this gets out of here as we get to 1 or 2 a.m. on Saturday. Looking at Williston's next 5, tomorrow mid-70s, chillier for Sunday and Monday. And again, there is also a severe risk for Saturday, so this pattern just continues as we get into the weekend. And Dickinson's next few days, tomorrow high of 77. The risks for tomorrow, more hail and winds. The tornado threat shouldn't be as strong, obviously, as we get into tomorrow. Here's Minot's next several. Tomorrow, right at average, a high of 79. The storm threats continues into Saturday and, of course, into Sunday there. We may see the return of those 80s by Thursday and Friday. And then Bismarck's next few days. Tomorrow is easily the warmest day of the next 5 to 6 days. And of course, more storms possible Saturday into Sunday. We're not quite done with this after tonight. Joel?
So just because Friday night's over, we wave goodbye to the 80s for a little bit, I guess. What you're saying is get ready for more.
I think a lot of us could enjoy a little bit of a reprieve from this stifling heat and humidity. A few days in the 60s, maybe some rain early next week. A little bit of a break here, I think, for a lot of us.
It's hard to believe we're already complaining about the heat. We've had it
We've
had it for about a half hour now.
That's true.
It's if nothing else, it'll be back. Kenny, thanks so much. Coming up next,